the Planet of the Apes. Longest freaking title I have ever heard in the longest time.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just like call it, Planet of the Apes Part 2. Like, there. And then it's one word difference from the first movie. So you're like, wait, is it rise or is it dawn? Is it dawn or is it rise? And dawn kind of means to rise. Because that's what dawn is when the sun rises. So it's really confusing.
Are you really getting hung up on that?
Yes, because I've had to say this title, like, I don't know how many times.
So, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes starts off after 10 years after the first movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And honestly, I think it outdoes the first.
Yeah, I don't even remember the first, to tell you the truth. And I probably should have watched it before going to see this one, but it didn't make too much of a difference because they kind of give you like a little intro that takes up a space of maybe like 2 minutes right before everything starts. So you don't feel lost. You don't really need to see the first one.
That's what I liked about this. You could watch this separately from Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and for new audiences, they don't feel left out.
Since there's a time gap, you're not like, wait, what? I thought he did this, because everybody's kind of aged, and everybody has to kind of reinstate what they are as a character, and then you get back into it, and it's not a big adjustment.
This movie follows the main ape from the first film, Caesar, who is played by Andy Serkis, and I gotta say, this Andy Serkis literally carries the entire movie on his back. He was...
Not literally.
Not
That's
literally.
a bad use of the word literally.
Okay, but... he was so freaking awesome as Caesar.
Yeah. I wonder, like, they don't actually make them act like the chimpanzees and stuff, but, like, I wonder how much he really added to the character. I wonder if he did, like, face captures and stuff like that.
Actually, he did do the motions. He did...
So what, he had to, like, ride a horse and then, like, hop around and stuff?
Yes.
And, like, swing through trees?
Well, not swinging, but, you know when the apes are walking and talking and all that, like, I would say 90% of the time, it's Andy Serkis in a green or blue suit or whatever they use in motion capture, and he's literally doing the body motions. He is doing the face motions. All
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you know that for sure? Because that's not that great of an idea, because chimpanzees don't move like human beings. So, like, shouldn't they study the way that chimpanzees move and then make it more realistic by computer generating that kind of thing?
I'm pretty sure
Or doing a motion capture with a chimpanzee. Anyway, the movie itself was really good. I think 4 of the main characters from the movie still stayed. Everybody else is a new character. But, and by 4 people, I mean 4 apes.
The apes. I believe it's Caesar, Maurice, the orangutan.
Who is my favorite?
Rocket, who is Caesar's friend in the zoo. And Koba, who I thought was freaking awesome too.
Yeah. He was awesome. And so it starts off by showing what happened to the world in the space between the first and second movies. And then it just kind of goes into... Did it start off with... Yeah, it started off with showing the apes, like, from the very beginning. You didn't even see any humans. It just went right into their lifestyle and what they're doing and all this kind of stuff. And I really like the fact that they started the movie with no talking. I thought that was, like, the coolest thing ever. The apes are just doing, like, the hand signs and stuff like that back to each other. And so it's almost like a silent movie. And it makes it so that you see their world in, like, this real pristine environment, and then all of a sudden it's interrupted by this gunshot. And that was really interesting.
Yeah, it really made you, like, connect on an emotional level with these apes, which I honestly think throughout the entire film.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the one word I would describe this film, I would use the word heart, because what really drove these last 2 Planet of the Apes movies was it made you connect and feel for the apes the way I would say the older films did not.
I would say that the first one didn't do as good a job.
As good of a job.
Yeah, because treated Caesar as like a pet, you know? He was like an ape that lived with, what is his name?
James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. And so you kind of see him as a pet throughout the whole thing. But in this, because they started off from the point of view of the apes, and you don't even know what the hell happened to the humans, they're just kind of not there until, like, you know, maybe 5-10 minutes in. So it's nice because then you're forced to feel what they're feeling. And that's a different perspective.
The acting that was portrayed through these computer-generated apes. Avatar did it first, using computer-generated images, motion capture to its fullest, and, you know, made it seem real. And after that movie came out, people were saying, oh, that's where acting is going. Like, everybody's going to be computer-generated, but the acting would be portrayed through motion capture. I think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes follows that lead.
My favorite part was probably not the motion capture. Because to me, when they overtly try and humanize animals, it comes across a little bit like force-feeding. So the motion capture was pretty cool and stuff like that, but the whole like screenplay was the best part of it, because I think they actually try and show this underlying message that the apes and the humans have so much in common. And it shows that humans, on this completely primitive level, have this need to cause violence and have this need to go and make trouble and start wars, no matter what you do. And, you know, history's shown that that totally is the case. But this movie takes it a step further and shows that it's not just humans, but it's the apes too. And it shows that they're not just like them, but they have the same things that motivate them and the same things that drive them forward. And ultimately, it causes all this chaos, and we all have to learn how to deal with that. And I think that they showed it in a really cool way, because if this was a movie about just humans having wars, it's kind of overdone. You know, everybody's like, yeah, okay, war, it sucks, right? With animals, you have this feeling of protection naturally for them. And so since they can't just show this message of war in human form anymore, it's kind of overdone. It's really cool that they show you the same message from the perspective of animals, because it's almost like you start all over. You have this real innocent starting point, and they follow the Caesar's oldest son through this realization of, you know, where he's supposed to be in his life and whether he should listen to the bad guy in this movie, I won't tell you who it is, or listen to his dad, who thinks that they shouldn't go to war with the humans. And so it follows him, and you never really feel like the son is a jerk, you know, you actually feel for him, because
He feels more or less misguided.
Yeah, he's just misguided. And even though he does really stupid stuff, you know, you always feel like, if I was in that situation, I can understand why I might do the same thing. And so that helps to connect people to the message that they actually get across by showing all this stuff that happens to the son. And I think that's a really cool way of doing it, because it makes this connection with the audience, rather than just, yeah, okay, these are monkeys riding horses, which is what I thought going into the theater. And then after a while, I was like, no, I actually care about these people as characters. Whether they're apes or humans, they're good characters, and I feel for them because I can understand what they're going through. And that was really cool. There was that one stinking human, and I swear everybody in the theater just wanted him to die, just like immediately.
They even in the film, they even called him the asshole of the group.
He even says, "I'm the asshole."
I felt the humans were interpreted pretty well. Humans are scared. They've been wiped out by this pandemic, which started at the end of the first film. Scared of the apes because, you know, we're on an equal level with them.
And I thought it was cool that they just kind of tell you just straight up that, you know, everybody needs someone to blame when everything goes wrong. Everybody looks for someone to blame. So automatically they're going to blame the apes.
That is a sad truth that I love that they brought to light in this film. I thought it was very well done. Mm-hmm. I thought Gary Oldman, in his role of the film, he did a pretty good job.
I thought he did excellently, actually. I actually almost found myself crying when he sees his children again.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see
he's
that there's, like, this whole built-up backstory to that character that you don't actually know anything about. You just see tiny little glimpses of his life before, and you can imagine what it was like, and he does a really good job progressing from such a blank slate into something more living.
The pacing in this film was unreal, I thought.
Yeah, because it's kind of a long movie, isn't it?
It's kind of a long movie, and never really slowed down to the point I got bored.
Yeah, I wasn't bored at all, ever.
I honestly can't think of anything bad, like really like nitpicky, that just bugged me. Not like Transformers, where it's like this is. I really don't have any issues with this film.
Yeah, I think the only minor issue that I have, and it might not even be an issue, it's just a sneaky suspicion that they didn't actually do much in the way of actual, like, biology of chimpanzees. But that's not even a big deal. You feel for the characters, and whether they're apes or not, you feel for them, and that's the point. The question comes down to...
Thank you. The question that comes down to is, would you watch this film in the theaters?
Yeah, definitely. I would actually watch this again. Like, I would pay the price again to go and see it.
I wouldn't mind bringing my family to watch this movie, because it really does bring to light flaws in ourselves.
Yeah.
Then, you know, a lot of movies nowadays don't. Like, riding giant metal T-Rexes. Just saying.
Yeah.
Ever since we did that movie review, I got more mad about it.
Just saying. It's been a steady progression from mad to madder. No, but, yeah, I thought it was really good, and I'm going to use this moment to say that I connected with the character so much that I had a favorite character who was Maurice, who was very awesome. He was like the intellectual ape, but it was really cool. He actually tried to connect.
Maurice is actually a chick, which just made her awesome.
Whoa, Maurice is a chick? Why is she named Maurice?
Marisa can be a girl name.
Can it?
Yep, I think.
Maurice.
Dun dun dun.
Maurice. Wow, Maurice is a chick. Okay, so I like Maurice still, even if she's a chick. Maurice is cool because she actually takes the extra step in trying to connect with the humans, but not in a, like, full-on overt kind of way. She takes it slow and, like, checks them out and stuff, and then ends up forming this bond with the main character's kid, which I thought was really cool, because kids would probably be more open to dealing with animals than their parents would be, because the animals are dangerous to adults, but to kids, they're just animals. So,
plus kids don't have the preconceived notion that they're bad. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
I need to figure out how they actually are.
Yeah.
It's just curiosity as a, teenager,
Yeah, which is kind of the way that Maurice was going at the humans, because she just kind of would stand there and take a look and be like, okay. And she had these really interesting discussions with the other apes that showed that she was thinking a lot about the whole situation, and she actually really knew what was going on and what was at the heart of this whole thing. But it wasn't like she was taking action like all the other ones, and I thought that was really cool because it showed a difference in personality between the apes too.
So,
did you have a favorite character?
Dude, Caesar's a badass, straight up.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. I mean, I'm a human, but hell, I would follow Caesar to the ends of the earth.
I wouldn't.
I'm saying me, because I think Caesar is just one badass ape. I mean, he goes through a lot of shit emotionally and physically, and he is one bad SOB. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. And Koba, I like Koba's character too, because you actually feel a lot for him, because he wears his pain literally, correct use of literally, on his face. So, you know what he went through, and you can see why he is the way that he is, and you can actually make connections between humans and him because you know people that are like that, where the things that they've been through just take such a huge toll on them that they're just filled with anger. But he was pretty awesome too.
Yeah. So, stars. Out of 10.
Out of 10. 8.5.
You, I love her, honestly, because, like, that's exactly what I was going at. Because, like, 8, I would think 8 is a movie that I would watch again, and, like, 9 would be, like, I will run my DVD player into the ground, watch it over and over and over, and I think this film...
Yeah, like, if it was VHS, you would actually, like, after you watch it, take it and put it in the rewinder, and rewind it, and then stick it back in.
That's a 9. That's a 9.
Yeah, that would be a 9.
For me, this is an 8.5. It fits, like, nicely in between the both. In between them both. And, yeah, I would watch this, not as much as, as I've done with Avengers, which I've probably seen 20 times already.
Yeah, not as much as I would do with, like, Brick. Haha. That was a good movie.
I don't know that movie.
I know, it's an indie film.
I've never seen an indie film in my life.
Ever?
I'm a bad movie critic.
Brick was excellent, but you gotta watch it with subtitles because it's like, whoa.
Okay. So, verdict, watch it in the theaters, worth your money, and 8.5 from us.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say?
Ape, not kill. Ape. No, you don't have to put that in.